Smash that like button if you've ever watched a zombie movie and thought, yeah, that was scary. But also, what did I just see? Share this with your horror-loving friends, subscribe for more viral breakdowns, and let's get right into it. Because today, we're talking about 28 years later, and the moment that has everyone gasping, not from fear, but from pure, unfiltered shock. Forget the blood, forget the apocalypse, forget even the storyline for a second. The real star of 28 years later is a zombie packing more than just rage. Yes, we're talking about the zombie with the massive dong. And no, this is not satire. This is very real. This is very visible. And audiences are not okay. The film, the long-anticipated sequel to 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later, ramps things up with a darker tone, a time jump, and a new generation of survivors. But what no one expected walking into theaters, popcorn in hand, ready for another dystopian ride, was to walk out whispering to their friends, "Did you see that zombies package?" Let's rewind. In 28 years later, the world is still reeling from the rage virus, a terrifying infection that turns humans into inhumanly violent, feral creatures. Civilization has crumbled, and survival is a minute-by-minute game. Enter the alpha zombie, codename Samson. Played by former MMA fighter Lewis-Parry, Samson is the biggest, baddest, and most terrifying zombie on screen. Think, if The Rock turned into a rage-infected zombie and lost all sense of shame, that's Samson. But here's where things get wild. Unlike other infected who appear in tattered clothes or drenched in blood, Samson shows up completely naked. And we're not talking strategically framed shadows or quick cuts. We're talking full frontal, mid-battle, ultra-lit scenes that leave nothing to the imagination. When this massive, ripped, blood-soaked zombie charges into frame, genitals swaying like they're part of the choreography, audiences reportedly gasped at screenings. It wasn't just shock, it was disbelief. Did the alpha zombie seriously just run across the screen with that much going on down there? Yes, he did. Let's unpack this, pun intended. So why exactly did the filmmakers decide to go full throttle on zombie nudity? The explanation comes from behind the scenes, and it's as oddly logical as it is bizarre. Samson, the alpha zombie, is described as nearly indestructible. Dr. Kelson, played by Ralph Fiennes, gives him the nickname Samson, which, let's be honest, is a biblical nod to strength, power, and apparently some very bold symbolism. Still, that didn't stop Variety from asking the most burning question of all. Were the prosthetics proportional? Cheese response? Well, I'm 6 feet 8 inches. I'll say no more. And just like that, the legend of the alpha zombie grew even more. Online reactions exploded. Memes, tweets, and TikToks flooded the internet. People weren't talking about the film's plot, its dark themes, or even the performances. They were talking about that zombie's dong. One Twitter user wrote, "So we're all just pretending that didn't happen? That wasn't a jump scare, that was a swing scare." Another joked, "The real apocalypse was in my brain after seeing that zombie meat hammer in IMAX." Samson, as the apex predator, doesn't just overpower others physically, he dominates the screen in every sense. His nudity isn't accidental or gratuitous. It's a power move, a terrifying, unforgettable one. Lewis-Parry's performance as Samson is intense, feral, and yes, memorable. Whether he's snarling through blood-drenched corridors or standing tall in all his prosthetic glory, the man commits. And the internet has crowned him an icon. Ralph Fiennes, Alfie Williams, and the rest of the cast do deliver gripping performances. The dystopian storyline is tight. The cinematography, bleak and brilliant. But none of that will go down in pop culture lore quite like the alpha zombie's prosthetic situation. Will future horror films follow suit and go bold with their monsters? Or will this be a one-time phenomenon? A cursed yet legendary cinematic moment we never speak of at Thanksgiving? Only time will tell. But for now, 28 years later has left its mark. Not just on the horror genre, not just in its terrifying narrative, but in the jaw-dropping, eye-widening, can't-unsee-it visuals of a zombie whose rage isn't the only thing that's oversized. Don't forget to smash that like button if you're still in shock. Hit subscribe for more viral moments, and drop a comment if this zombie just changed the way you see horror movies forever. Share this with a friend who needs to know. Because honestly, some warnings can't be spoken. They have to be shown. Stay tuned for more pop culture madness.